Welcome to Cebu, Expat by Matt Wilky, discussing expat life in the Philippines.
Someone mentioned the other day they found me quite intimidating on my YouTube videos, not in person, but I have to say it's probably because I'm driven. Everything to me revolves around the family, and it got even more so with the Philippines. I mean, before I even went to the Philippines, though, my daughter Nicole I used to take to school, spend all day with, and pretty much my life was focused on her. My relationship with my ex-partner wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't terrible, let's put it that way. But there was probably more to do with money than anything else that we eventually broke up. I'm quite good at managing money. She's quite good at spending it. It just didn't work. But with April, it's very different. With the Philippines, you can go from comfortable living to poverty quite quick if things fall apart. And I'm aware I'm the golden goose in the family. Regardless of how you look at it, it always comes back to it. And I've seen how people have lost their houses, lost everything. The partner's died, the husband left a small fortune for the partner, but it just goes. It's just mismanaged, or it's hard to explain unless you see it. Some people, they give them a house, that's when they've got the family house, but at the end of the day, unless you've got that constant flow of cash, that house is worthless. It's very difficult to sell a large house. It's very difficult to manage because maintenance is quite expensive, not just from the bricks and mortar side of it, but keeping it cool is expensive in the Philippines. So they fall into disrepair, selling it cheap, etc., etc., and basically their life falls apart. But I'm driven by family. I'm driven by the fact that I'm finishing work in less than 10 years' time. I know a lot of you guys are looking to retire in the Philippines. I already have our place in the Philippines. What I want is my wife and kids to not only experience Europe, but have a long-term commitment there. That means that if I'm no longer here in a decade, that it doesn't matter. Of course it will matter to some people, but what I mean is financially, April will have her at least one house or apartment in Spain, plus the apartments in the Philippines. The kids will have their education in Europe, be multilingual, and regardless of what happens with the EU, they'll be secure. So that's what drives me, and that's why I may seem a bit intimidating and quite aggressive in my approach with things. It's quite simply, I'm not here to do it over 20 years. I'm here to do it in a short period of time. As such, I work stupid hours, long hours, in multiple countries, but at the same time, I've got one focus right now, is to get that house in Spain sorted, because the first one is the stepping stone. If I can get the first one, get it paid for, my living costs cut by nearly 50%, which basically means I could do 3 months a year in the UK working, and we could support ourselves in Spain, even if I had no income in Spain. So that's basically why I'm driven. That's why I'm focused. Is I am putting the foundations for the family. And if you're not as focused and aggressive with it, it probably wouldn't happen. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be doing this work for the next 20 years. It pays well, But at the same time, the sacrifices are I don't get to see my family most of the time. If you bear in mind, I was in a hotel for 9 months of last year during the working week, and like today I'm driving up to Middlesbrough, meeting with a client, and this will be a review for something that will run for at least a month, where for the working week that month would be away from home. And I have multiples of these around the country at the moment. So I don't mind coming in, flying in from Spain, doing a month, then going back for a month, then coming in, doing one for 3 months, then going home for 6 months. But traveling backwards and forwards and not going home for several months at a time, etc., is coming to an end. Simply, it's not the life I want. It's not fair on April. It's not fair on the kids. Which means downgrading my job or getting more mobile. Well, say more home-based, where I can focus on the software side of this. But the problem with that is everybody wants to do that. But I'm in a unique position where a lot of people don't understand what we actually do. But at the same time, what I do is actually still in its infancy, which is another problem, because give it 5 years' time, working from home could be a reality once things are developed in the right way. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.